It would be erroneous to imagine the act of human sacrifice linking priest, offering, and God, C.F. Manzetti's stone cults, as anything less than a vital focusing of the group's faith. The act also ensures the continuing appeasement of the god, but only if practiced by a recognized officiating priest using the appropriate instruments.
The priest has to have the paperwork, he has to have his license, and especially has to be wearing the correct safety equipment.
Well, yeah, I mean, the average Catholic priest has to be there has to be an altar, he has to literally get crackers and, through the power of faith, literally turn them into flesh.
Yes, that's how it works. And
that will be ritually consumed by those attendants.
Good. I mean, that's... When you really kind of interpolate that, Paul, Catholicism is horrible. You're basically turning people into cannibals. Cannibals of Jesus!
It's, I know that's actually part of the faith. The crackers are transformed, literally through faith.
Yes. Through the power of Jesus!
Yes. That is doctrine by Catholic.
Yes.
That is Catholic doctrine.
And pray tell, what is wine as well? Same thing? Turns him into the blood of Jesus!
Yes, that's it.
I'm trying to make Paul laugh at this, and it's working.
Yes, you are. Well done.
Studies made concerning primitive religious groups bear witness to the central role of sacrifice in building ritual.
I know somebody probably asked this already, but going back to our previous conversation, what if Paul had, or what if Jesus had hepatitis? Well, if we drink his blood, are we all fucked then? Because just like full disclosure, I never drank wine during communion, so I'm all right. Is that okay? Like the flesh is fine. The flesh doesn't carry the hepatitis.
Here's the thing: it's probably all over the priest.
Well, I never touched the priest either, so and he never touched me. Just to state, he never touched me either.
Touched everybody else, and did you touch any of them?
No, I don't touch people at all. That's why there's like 5 feet between us.
Good.
I'm a massive germaphobe.
Then you get a chance.
Good. Okay.
My own work in the field of ethnopsychology brought me into contact with a sorcerer living in the region of Arkham.
He's called the Riddler.
He introduced me to the rite of steel, linked to a ceremony known as adoring the black goat of the woods with 1,000 youngs.
You might need to catch your name than that.
Being abroad is known as the vagabond.
Ah.
What?
Here,
yeah.
The dagger's role, which allows a life breath to pass from one dimension to another, is essential.
Yeah.
The vagabond is a frightening figure, being able to move where he wants and to kill those who have displeased the goat god, for whom he acts as a go-between. The goat
He's the
is
secretary
clearly a
for a
fertility
goat.
god. The priest, having spoken the implication, must choose the appropriate dagger for the sacrifice.
That's why we have 3.
The knife with a sinusoidal blade that must be dipped 7 times on night when the moon is full in water that has been distilled 100 times will be laid aside, since it would send the vagabond back into his own dimension.
Excellent.
See illustration.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Aldo.
The priest will rather choose the dagger curved blade. That is more appropriate for slitting of the lamb's throat. This act transfigures the sorcerer priest and plunges the assembled worshippers into a divine trance.
Right. So it looks like then we have one dagger then to kill the vagabond, which is the spiral one,
and one to feed him.
Yeah. So we know which one to kill him with then. More important.
Also, one thing though, that previous page had some very, very specific needs.
Yes, but we're gonna cut through the bullshit here. This is modern Cthulhu rites.
No, here's what this is. Do you know what this is? This is a fucking pamphlet by sellers. This is fucking advertising right here.
I don't think it's even okay, if you think that this is like
dagger makers are selling this. You need this because of all the rituals we've done to it.
Sorry, do you think this is like a fucking product data sheet for daggers? Or like some sort of like instructions to how to use?
It's more like a brochure for what we have on range. Like, yes, totally spend all this money on these particular daggers because of all these rituals we've totally done to them to make them worthy.
So you're saying that Otto is some sort of like sacrificial dagger salesman that just happened to use the veil of Magic Cthulhu rites to sell some daggers to us. There are so much easier means of selling knives to people, Paul, without pretending that you're some sort of specialist on cults. You could have just sold knives to people. You didn't have to go through the whole Varbo's fucking diatribe of the last few pages.
I know, but the market's saturated. You have to go for the weird niches.
You just have to go for the cults. It's the only way. It's the only way to get business nowadays. Right, let's read this one.
Juan Luis Jorge, De Biblioteca. Reflections on the power of the verb in certain texts.
Oh.
Archaeos Publications,
The
1919.
verb, that's the doing word, isn't it?
Stanford.
Like the action?
Yes.
Like the importance of actually doing
Translation
shit.
does not alter the occult power contained within such forbidden texts. The malevolent energy is in no way diminished. The spell must be cast aloud and clearly, in certain languages or little-known dialects. Maglafa Fatan.
Oh, go on. Oh.
You will understand
Pussy.
that, in the light of these revelations, I would be foolhardy to continue quoting from the text
He knew
I
better.
have before me. If spoken aloud in its entirety, it would surely awaken powerful and malignant forces.
In my genes.
I would go
Nice.
further and say that simple reading of some of the more technical passages describing specific practices is in itself a perilous exercise. The ill-prepared reader can easily fall prey to attacks of demented hysteria, not unlike those described in cases of individuals said to be possessed by evil spirits.
Evil spirits, such as Asterisk.
I recommend the study made by Zemf, Urbain, Grandier, and Loudon, and the reports made by the Reverend Richard Price concerning a number of astonishing, to say the least, exorcisms carried out in a parish near Providence. Given what I have written, we must be grateful to the librarians of the British Museum, who have never allowed consultation of the work of Al-Azib's startling work, the infamous Necronomicon.
Aha.
Copies of that work do exist, in spite of the zeal of book-burning inquisitors. For proof, we need look no further than the British Museum, of course, and the sealed archives of the Miskatonic University in Arkham.
I presume, I believe Arkham will become as relevant when we play Dark Corners of the Earth.
It's possible. It may.
Other examples of books whose evil can be unleashed by any thoughtless reader are von Jutz's von Unersprechlichen Kulten and the abominable De Vermis Mysteries by Ludwig Prien, whose sordid death should be a lesson to all those tempted by a study of the occult.
Now, that's telling us to warn us about books, isn't it?
Well, unfortunately, that's required wording for the lesson, so in order to survive this place, we'll have to read them anyway.
I wonder if one of the books we have is actually
Murders.
that. Yeah. Let's just see. Look,
Ludwig Prien,
Ah,
we have the spooky book.
De
yay!
Domine Invocatoris, si non sanctificatus est cave.
Let's see what
De
happens. Do
vernis mysteriis non absolvo folem legendum.
you feel anything happening yet?
Et eum
Oh,
versus
nearly. It's talking dirty to
me
me.
magnum
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was talking. Yeah.
nominandum signa stellarum nigrarum et
Watch what happens? Ow!
Right.
A fucking book broke our neck.
And other things.
Amongst other things, yes. Okay. So what's going to happen is we're going to leave this book right here.
Right here.
Right here. Right here on the floor. Nobody's going to read it. Yeah.
Because fuck that.
I see that I was going for the Beatles friendly guy, while you're going for Mookie when he's drunk. Right. So we have a talisman.
And we have some shankies.
We do have some shankies. So this is the shanky we're going to use. Wish us luck, Paul. Look how serious Carnby is. I'm gonna get that vagabond, that homeless piece of shit. Boom!
One hit kill.
Get fucked, homeless people. And, you know, vagabonds.
Clouds of post-its.
Yeah. Sweet. How much oil do we have left, I wonder? That's not bad, actually. Okay, I suppose we take a save here. Now,
Shall we?
so I suppose actually we have now time to get. Well, we don't really need that other book. We already searched.
I
that.
only say purveyor of knives because you have a lot.
I do have a lot of
And
knives.
a fine selection too.
Yes, it's true.
And you are being generous with them.
That is true. That is true.
So say for a knife salesman.
You're not going to let this go, are you? There we go.
I think we should put effort into this.
No, no. In fairness, we take
And
our.
Zabi is good, but it's not great.
No, that's true. Let's see if there's any other lore in these bookcases.
Oh, probably more than our mind can endure.
Oh, there's another one. There's one.
I suggest you save again before reading that one.
What I might do is actually I might conserve on our oil and read the books outside the library. No. Nothing. I mean, might as well enjoy the library for what it is before we go. Fill up on lore and then continue on. I think we got that book already, did we not?
Might have.
Right, well, let's read this one. Actually, no, wait. I better stick to my. What I was going to say. What do I get rid of now is the question. That's what we don't need this anymore. So, appropriately, we leave a book in the library. Actually, hang on. Let's throw it. That's what you do with books.
Fuck you.
God, he's such a pussy. How did he get so bad at throwing? Like,
Fail.
okay, so 2 books it looks like. Nothing important in here. Up in here. No. I love as well that Carnby is somehow able to, you know, tell that he, like, these books are very important, therefore I must take them. As opposed to, like, all the other, like, millions of books that are in here. Okay, what can we get rid of? Diary of a Journey. Yeah, we can get rid of that. There is no room. Okay. Will this work? I wonder. Nope! We're a coward. We're shit at everything. Okay, that's what, 3 books now we have?
Yep.
Okay. I think we're gonna get our fill of plot, ladies and gentlemen.
It's almost as if the library is a big Loredump right behind the lamp.
Where's the lamp?
The lamp is behind the lamp.
Was it?
Not the ideal placement, which is why I made a mental note of it. It's like just behind the lamp.
It's gone.
There, straight.
It's gone. Like, oh no, I can see it now. Sorry, you're right. I was really shitting it there for a second because I thought that because we left so many items in one place that the game just said, okay, this one's gone now. Oh, okay. So you can throw a notebook, but you can't throw a normal book. Fat ass. Right. How much we have? 24. Paul, what should we call this one? We're gonna keep read until we can fall off. Yes.
Borrowing.
But no. There we go.
Borrowing. From the library.
From the library.
Unfinished chapter of Terra Incognita
Yeah, it's a nice
by
little.
Jacob Van Ostate. A hitherto unpublished fragment of the manuscript unearthed following indications furnished Vatican Library's Expurgatory Index.
Nice.
In those icy and unwelcoming lands, the right lizards and healers are
I
deeply
thought I said
rooted
right of lizards.
in ancient legends. Mysterious and cruel beings
With confusing
have
accent.
ruled over the Arctic plains in times past.
Oh, the Arctic plains.
A
Yes.
cursed tea, enclosed
Cursed
by
tea.
massive walls, is believed to stand to this day. It contains fabulous treasures
Fabulous.
and is inhabited by the degenerate descendants of those who instilled centuries of terror in the hearts of the people.
There's no way to talk about polar bears.
These people, naturally plastic, are seized with rage and horror.
Paul, do you get it?
at
Do you
the
see
very
it?
mention
Wait
of
for
the
it.
prisoners of the ice.
Yeah, close enough.
Were these dreadful captives to be freed from their frozen cells?
I love this guy. I think this guy's my favourite reader so far.
References.
No, it's not even that. It's just the way he's talking just is weird. There's no even accent. He's just weird.
Invoked
Yeah.
by certain ritual words.
Like, can you even try and fathom what country he's from?
No.
I'm getting like
albeit with the greatest
French,
of
Italian,
difficulty.
Serbian. Like, there's so many fucking like European.
Academia.
Is that a country now?
He's from Academia.
Is that like a principality outside fucking Hogwarts?
It is a thing unto itself.
Sure.
I admit to being impressed by these tales, repeated to me on many occasions and in a number of different places during my travels in the region. I have also seen
Places.
troubling
It's like listening to fucking
cults
Tommy Wiseau reading.
sculpted in
Nearly, yeah.
material unknown to me.
Another remarkable
Another
fact
remarkable
is that local
Is that
Eskimos,
local Eskimos experience great
Oh.
distaste
in pronouncing certain words and invariably avoid saying them.
avoid saying them.
What?
I'm trying to like guess how he's going to pronounce shit.
Oh,
Here
he's a
is a
living
living
example.
example of the power that words contain. As it is said in the Bible, in the beginning was the Word.
In the beginning, there was. That's not how the Bible goes. Oh, whatever. Shut up, you weird
I
accent
admit
person. No, go
to
away.
being-
Shush, shush. Not how the Bible went.
No.
Moving on.
The sons of the sun and
Oh,
of
I
the
think
shadows.
Yeah, we've read that one. That's just.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just.
Duplicate.
Never will I join.
Being duplicate.
I saw it.
Grind.
Right? I heard that too. I was just like, I never would grind.
If Rocks Could Talk, or the story of a Louisiana plantation by the Marquise de Chamfray.
The Marquis was on some heavy shit back then. Editor's note: the Marquis was doing heroin at the time of writing the book. Some of the text may be confusing for people without addictions to understand.
And even some
After
left.
the criminal selling off of Florida by the foul usurper, my father
At least this person can do a solid French accent.
land,
This is a
where we
really
were
good one,
free
actually.
at least to express our royalist feelings and hope our country would come to its senses. In 1818, a certain Pickford bought up Ledoux's land after the poor fellow had ruined himself in unfortunate speculation. Pickford soon turned out to be the most loathsome human we had ever encountered.
Right, quickly. What do you think the unfortunate speculation was? I'd say he fucked a goat.
Oh, definitely Eldritch Matters.
So fucking a goat?
Well, you know, you gotta kill the goat afterwards. So you may as well give it a good time before it dies.
Okay, we're going with that then.
Because, you know, goat sacrifice is a thing now.
Yeah, sweet.
He was an adventurer of the worst kind. Nouveau
In
riche
fact, we called him
and
Prickford
bloated
instead.
with a grotesque sense of self-importance.
Yeah, actually, I wasn't too far off.
Incessant army of men with shovels digging into the mountain of earth that was to fill in the surrounding swamp. The undertaking was quite stupendous. We learned from a slave that the final objective was to connect the existing caves with another one of gigantic proportions. Racked by a mania of persecution, Elia Pickford constantly fired his workers and hired new ones. He did all he could to keep anyone from learning about his plans. My father was amused and said, "The poor fool will end up in his own cave."
Ah.
But the
Oh,
walls
shit.
went up, and tongues started wagging. Our detestable neighbor had been a sailor, a ruffian grown rich on questionable trade. Distasteful stories were told of him.
So maybe Pickford is the guy hiding in the cave instead of Hartwood, like I initially thought. Oh, look. That is interesting.
When the work was finished, Pickford invited us to the opening of his rambling mansion, which he named
Don't ignore that.
Versetto. My father asked what the strange name meant. Pickford answered,
I do love that that noise.
Yeah.
That noise happened just as you said Darsetto.
"The fertility
Yeah.
of it. Around here, the name is Shub-Nigarat, I believe.
Can't say that nowadays.
That a name so steeped in evil should be said aloud came as not such a shock to my father, as he himself confided in me some while later.
Ah, right.
We left immediately.
Without finishing the page.
In June of 1862, Versetto was burned down in unexplained circumstances. It was undoubtedly the deed of some jealous Yankee or another. It was amazing to watch the servants rushing into the flames to try and save their bullet-riddled master. After that terrible night, Versetto fell into ruin. Its blackened walls were soon
That's the
overgrown,
voice actor, isn't it?
as human beings always are,
Hmm.
by ever-present nature.
Maybe.
In 1875, the
Aha.
property was eventually
Hartwood.
bought by a gentleman whose name was Howard Hartwood. I was
Artwood.
sorry
Hartwood.
that my father, who delighted in fine conversation, was no longer alive to enjoy the company
These
of
people
his
are
new
royalists,
neighbor.
presumably to the English
Learned
crown, yet
and
they're French.
well-versed in history. He had made a particular
yeah, I don't
study
think
of
that's-
piracy. It was Hartwood who told
Maybe,
me
I don't know,
that
it's not
commanded a
adequately
ship
explained. I
that
don't
flew
know that
the
much about
flag
French
of
history.
piracy. That explained the scoundrel's great wealth.
Based in the US.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? I said just to hand that. Oh, you did. Okay, based in the US.
Yes.
They wanted to. They lived in somewhere where they could actually admit that they're royalists.
Yeah, so presumably like King Louis royalists. But I don't think that time works out in that case.
No, and also the accent is French.
That's what I mean, like as in royalists for like King Louis who was like beheaded. They're like the French Revolution. I don't know what time that is.
Oh, okay.
I think that was. I don't think
Sorry,
that was.
for some reason I had American Revolution in my head.
No. This is if they're royalists, then they're referring to like the French royal family
Right,
who were
okay.
killed.
Hartwood was fascinated by Pickford and undertook a great deal of research in an attempt to find some treasures that he was convinced the pirate had hidden. He went through the ruins inch by inch. He then had the burnt-out house rebuilt exactly as it had been, and furbished the library that had miraculously escaped the flames on the night of the Great
I
Fire.
wonder why that is. Secret talisman and all that.
Fucking
Hartwood
magic.
set about
It's always
studying
magic, isn't it?
every volume in that library, and often talked to me of his research. As a handsome widower, deeply attached to his son Jeremy, who was later to become a professional artist.
Or in other words, professional disappointment. Yeah, I went there.
Hartwood
Yep.
worked incessantly, first from the room I offered him, then from his own freshly restored home, which he rebaptized Versetto. I imagine he hoped to enlist the help of the god of good fortune in his treasure hunt. As far as I have ever been able to tell, all his searching came to nothing. There were no lost treasures to be found at Versetto. I learned of Hartwood's death while I was in Paris. But that, as they say, is another story.
Well, and that's a story for another day. So, now we have all the backstory that we need. we find out that Pickford, or at least a guy called Pickford, was the initial owner and actually builder of this house.
And he was a crazy pirate.
He was a crazy pirate, indeed. So, that begs a question now. Where do we go next? Because we still... This one thing we still need is a track for the dancers.
Yes.
So the library is sorted now, which is good.
And dark as fuck.
Yes, I know.